Salutations. Welcome to Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast episode
101 Dalmatians.
That's a lot of dogs. But
Yes, it is.
I'm AJ.
And I'm late.
It's better late than pregnant. But Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
A first chin Eagle Talon. I saw it at Harbor Freight before getting here.
I was going to say there's no way somebody traded that shit in.
No. This was in the parking lot of the cheap hardware store.
Was it ESI, TSI?
It looked pretty plain Jane, but it was in decent shape and it's in your favorite color.
White. But with a black top because the Talons, actually, I think all of, no. All right,
I think it had a black top and it was also approaching dark and raining.
So the Talons had the black top. The Laser had the black top, but with the color matched kind of halo over the top of it. And then I think the Eclipse looked a little bit different, but that was one.
Probably it's like all solid color.
Yep. So Steve came straight from his dream job.
So in my 2.5 months there, I've had to pull like 2 weekend shifts of some sort. Darn.
Yeah.
But one was to move computers. This one was to diagnose diesel technician software, only to discover that the module that connects laptop to truck may in fact be broken, and this is the 5th of which might have gone sideways.
Eek.
So we're holding no regard for no regard.
Well, both of the Bryans I asked that spell their name with a Y couldn't make it today. So
one of whom is hungover in hometown.
Yeah. So you and I are going to share this. I got it from the mountains of the cabin. It's Trip in the Woods from Sierra Nevada. Have you ever had it?
I don't believe so.
Barrel aged Olivia Abbey Ale in brandy barrels with mandarin oranges and cocoa.
Should I read this before we do the thing?
That's a long book. I don't know.
TLDR. Or delay this 6 or 3 hours.
I also have Woodford Reserve Lemon Surprise.
The surprise is that it's using the zest.
I asked if the surprise was that it tasted like lemon, or was it a surprise that it had... or was it surprising how lemony it was, or did it surprise you with a little lemon at the end? And Keith goes, that's actually a pretty good question. He goes, it's actually surprising how lemony it is. So if you pour the whiskey, I'll pour the beer, and then we will trade accordingly. The glasses don't matter who gets what, but I guess technically that doesn't matter which one we get, but I think I'd rather drink out of the
For those of you not watching, I'm attempting to pour out of a bottle with a cap on it. That's how my day's going.
You know, the other day I was in the car with it started, and I was on the phone with Emily, and I'm like, I can't find my keys. So it'd be like that.
Good, more, less,
yeah,
whatever.
that's a good pour. I figured you would need some whiskey after today.
Sure. Especially
lemon flavors. And by the way, ABV, this is 11.4, so that's Woodford. It's 90.4 probably.
And this is 45.2 ABV, so that puts it at 90.4 proof. Hey.
Surprise. Steve, do you want to be an Anderson Valley or a fat boy?
I'm going to be a fat boy.
All right.
Got holidays coming up.
We can do that afterwards. So Empire's open, and it's right there. Or the Mexican joint. Doesn't fucking matter.
Actually, speaking of which, I need to drop Kayla line and see if she wants anything from anywhere. Or
I'm assuming she does.
Come to
since she got up at sunset
Wednesday.
today. So while you're doing that, Steve, the good news is I'm officially stepping down from my job that I've been bumping my gums about. It will be after the first of the year. I'm not sure what week it is yet, but my job's posted. So if they keep me longer than I think they should, I'm going to schedule myself Monday through Friday at my current store until they find somebody else. And also have a fun guitar story that all transpired this week since I didn't make it to Saucer. But we will do that after we try one and or both of these because I'm really excited. I'm excited for this one because I haven't had it, but I have had that one, and I'm excited to see what you feel about the lemon. So, to new beginnings, sir.
Slancha. Yeah, the tentative new job being almost walking distance is a nice touch.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't care to walk that. I wouldn't care to bike that. I don't even like driving that stretch of lawyers.
I like driving it when there's nobody on it because the canopy covers the road. It's kind of pretty at that fall. That does taste like lemon.
That is lovely.
Isn't it, though? It's really, really good. I like that.
I need to tell my mother-in-law, all right, I want that one for Christmas.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, Kaylin was like scrounging for ideas for me. He's like, what I sent you for suggestions looks an awful lot like the year before. And the year before that. And the year before that. And the year before that. And whatever random surprises she gets, they work.
Yeah, it's fine. I buy myself shit all year long. Yeah, Brian got me a humidor.
Nice.
Yeah, a little humidor, but better than no humidor.
Had it not been such a mess at TJ Maxx yesterday, my gift to self would have been an analog quadruple clock, so you could have different time zones, and it's all like analog and wooden. It was lovely, but the line was into the back of the pillows of the TJ Maxx Home Goods at Concord Mills. Cool, I like this, but I'm not wading through that line.
I went to World Market. I went to World Market to look for Emily some knickknacks and shit that I usually get her. Yeah, same thing. Line was bonkers, backed up. So I walked around for about 10 minutes, and after seeing a bunch of sneezy kids and shit with no masks running around with their parents, I was like, okay, let's put the basket back, and I'll just order everything I'm going to order for her online. And half of it's already here. And if the other half's not here, I'll just tell her what it is. But the things I wanted her to have before Christmas came already. And they're hidden in plain sight because she's not going to look for anything. Let's try the Abbey Ale before I get into my story.
I've actually got a Christmas gift for Kaylin that I've been sitting on since before the wedding.
Oh, nice. Oh, fuck, that's good, too.
And that even doesn't taste totally flummoxed after the lemon whiskey.
No, it really doesn't. Lemon whiskey sounds like either a stripper's name or... No, more like a moonshiner that... I don't fucking know, man. It has been a long day, and I haven't even left the house. Long story short with job is I applied in a different district, Rocky River Road. So I tentatively agreed to that, and then my director decided she didn't like that, and so she made a phone call, and I got an interview at the store 3 minutes away from here, and now I'll be at that store.
Well, it could be 12 minutes, depending on that left turn out of your neighborhood.
Yeah,
because that
true.
Sucks.
True, but the time of day I'm leaving.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yesterday I almost was late getting to Buzz Viking to play because it was backed up so far. So I just turned right, off Evans onto that, and then decided to go to the light. It's not a good idea either.
No.
So
we're trying to nudge your way, go straight through and take Norman, Newell, whatever that road is that Evans becomes.
Nelson.
Yeah,
I know, it's Nelson. Every time I go by.
That seems to have an awful lot of construction going on through there.
Yeah, something about houses or apartment. I don't know what. It doesn't matter.
More shit I can't afford.
More shit we can't. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to afford it now. I'm glad I bought when I did.
Yeah, for a good time, start at $300,000. I'm making more money than that much more money, damn it.
How long can you finance this house? Can I go 90 years?
Yeah. I mean, with a 50-year mortgage now, then I would be financing until I'm 90, so that's a bit terrifying.
That's horrible. I don't even think car loans should be over really 72 months.
Yeah.
Because by the time, if you drive the car daily for 6-7 years, I mean, you're going to have so many miles on. You'll be paying $400 a month on a car. It's not worth anything.
Yeah, I really lucked out when I managed to finance the Vibe because then it was $92 a month. So, well, yes, I did pay it off 7 months early.
That is the cheapest car loan you've ever had, right?
Yeah.
Okay, mine was
far and away. I had to put down $1,000 to bridge the gap between what they were financing and what the car was asked for. It's but having a car payment that cheap made it feel like it's still not a car payment.
Of course.
Yeah, if it's under $100, that's doable.
Yes.
Plus it being cheap to insure versus the 98 GTI and the 07 Tacoma. Mm-hmm. Then those cost way more to pay back at bank and insure. Indeed.
I forgot to mention that my cheapest car payment was $100 a month, but the interest rate on that loan was 24%. Because I didn't have any credit and I was 18 years old when I bought that Accord.
You might as well use a credit card on that car then.
Well, the good news was it got stolen, and then I got more money. And then the next car loan I got was 7%. So, but then that car got broken into. So I moved. That's when Toby and we lived at Legacy Park. All right, so if you're on Harris Boulevard and you turn right onto Mallard Creek, it's that one that, you go down the hill and there's an apartment complex on the left. It was that one.
Yeah.
That's where, in a span of 2 weeks, I had a car stolen and broken into with the stereo stolen out of it.
Yeah, I think the interest rates for all 3 cars I've financed traditionally have been roughly 5%. Mm-hmm. I think it was 5.5 on the GTI, since that was cosigned through Dad. Else that would have bit more when I was 20. I think the Tacoma was 4.7, the Vibe was 5.4, but it was getting a 12-year-old car at the time financed.
Yeah,
it's like, what's more impressive, like that I could get it financed, or that BB&T charged so little?
Yeah, the bank didn't, or the credit union, when I got the S2000, I was surprised they gave me as much, because they don't view it as a collector's item. They just view it as it's a X-year-old Honda, So fun story. Tuesday, I find the guitar I've been looking for. It's that vintage yellow color, yellowish orange, piezo PRS, and it's under $3,000. So I went, showed it to Emily. What do you think? She goes, pretty. I was like, she said it was a good year for music. You going to get it? I'm like, I think so. She goes, okay, just let me know. So, press buy. I bought it. I was like, fuck yeah, so excited. I'm going to buy it. I can play it Friday. So I bought it Tuesday morning. I bought the guitar right under $3,000. Brand new, they're $5,500. So, and it's a 2020 model. So it's pretty new. No dings, no scratches. So I thought. That evening, email. You've been refunded your purchase from reverb.com. Motherfucker. And I was like, maybe somebody swooped in and bought it before I did, but that's not possible because the transaction went through. It's not like eBay where it's bidding.
Yeah, that either you bought it or you didn't.
You buy it or you didn't.
Or the fact that Cameron tried to get me a watch off of eBay and the guy never shipped it, never did anything, so eBay themselves had to refund the money.
Yes.
So apparently trying to find that G-Shock for $60 instead of $130 was not such a bargain.
Correctamundo.
I'll get my translucent thing one of these days, damn it.
So I messaged guys like, hey, what's going on with the guitar? And he said, we are very, very sorry, but we got it off the wall because it was a trade-in as a company. They're on Reverb since 2012, 2013. They have like 10,000 transactions. So it was
basically a used gear marketplace, okay?
And I said, we got it off the wall, and we were doing our thorough inspection because when they get a trade-in, they'll look at it and everything, and they'll hang it up.
Yeah.
Major crack repair done to the neck. Now, that guitar is a bolt neck, so theoretically, I could have got a new neck for blah, blah, blah. But that's a glued-in neck. This one was a glued-in.
That's matter how the construction is on the guitar, that if the neck's bolted in versus...
Yep. So bolt.
Okay. And no Usain.
Glued. So, it's a glued-in neck, had a major repair done, and when they took apart the electronics, the pickups were not the original pickups in it. So he's like, well, we can't really sell this to you because we don't know who did the repair on this cracked neck, and we have listed this for sale, and they have 5-star rating. They're great. I was not mad at them at all. It wasn't their fault. I wasn't really mad at all. It was actually
the fact they managed to catch this before you get it. You see this strange thing happen. Hey guys, what's going on? And where do I find my nearest guitar chiropractor?
Yep, because if I would have spent $3,000 on something and got it in and found that, I'd have been the color of your shirt. The red part, not the white. I'm already the white part. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I found the darndest Christmas shirts at Five Below a long time ago.
I'm happy that I didn't get it in that shape, but I'm sad that I missed out on that because that was so far the cheapest one that I found. But I still got some to play, so It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it's not that you are without guitars. You just happen to be without that particular one.
Huh? Yeah.
But
That's what happened to me this week.
You're still going to find another lovely thing, and hopefully it'll be less broken.
I certainly fucking hope so. I found a couple more, but none that I really like the color on. And so the SE line, so that's an SE. That one's built overseas. The blue one's built in USA. So I found an SE hollow body like I wanted, but it has it's the cheaper price point. Still a nice guitar. Part of me would always want the more expensive one because it's the handmade USA one. But at the same time, I'm playing bar gigs and brewery gigs, so am I more comfortable taking out a $3,000 guitar or a $1,500 guitar? So there's that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I figure whatever you're touring with, definitely make that the less precious one.
Well, there's one artist, I can't remember his name. He has his private stocks at home that he plays at home, and he takes his SEs out touring. Because if he bangs those up, doesn't really matter. And I'll actually show you the SE. I'd show you what the picture of the other one looks like, but I can't. Well, maybe I can. It might still be in my purchase history, and in fact, it probably is. Let's see if the internet plays ball in here. Let's see here. Well, that's the other one. So this is one of the SEs. It's in black gold burst.
Sounds very 1983 Datsun of you.
That one.
Oh, she pretty.
Very pretty. Mm-hmm.
That's a neat vignette finish on that.
Yeah, it's called a black gold, and that's a flame maple veneer on the top. So it's a veneer. It's not actually staining the wood like you would on the USA model. Nobody would ever fucking know the difference except me. That's how they get the price point down.
Yeah, or once you start peeling it after 10 years, you're going to trade out in that time.
Well, they have a nitrocellulose finish over the top. You couldn't peel that. If you got to the point where it was peeling away, your guitar's fucked anyway. Oh, there it was. Motherfucker. And here was the USA. Ignore that price because it was actually listed for 15% off. So it was that color. Still, the other one's not a bad choice, but that one's solid wood. The other one's laminate. But you ever seen those big body round guitars, electric guitars that some artists play? They're Gibson ES335s. Those are laminate tops, and they're $4,000. So it is more stable. Solid wood guitars are actually more prone to expand and contract in humidity, and laminate guitars are not. So there's your
yeah. And considering the way that humidity operates around here, the less humidity prone your guitar is, the better.
True. Like in here is not a problem, but
yeah, but if you're playing outside,
it can. It probably won't in one gig, but if you have you take it out of your warm car, you sit it out in the cold, and it goes back into the warm car, and then it goes back into your house. It's like it can fuck up the balance.
So that's when you have to find the guitar with the expansion joints, like a bridge.
I'm not sure how that would sound, but I like where you're going with this.
Physics also was not my strong suit.
I took physics, and then my physics teacher, she had to resign, I guess about 8 years after I graduated, because I think she was sleeping with some of the football players. Damn, I should have played football instead of basketball. You know what her last name was? No shit, I'm not even making this up. Manshak. That was a little old place where people got together. She's not watching this. Who gives a shit? That was my interesting week of jobs and guitars and good news, bad news.
Did she get arrested for this? Did she say got man-shackled?
I think they were 18, so she didn't get. She's not currently incarcerated. So, was your week any more interesting than those two highs and lows?
Managed to get all my last minute shopping done, I think. Just crazy week work wise. Missed you at the bar Monday, but sure hope Plan B was entertaining.
Who was there?
Mac and Kalen.
Gotcha.
So we had a grand old time hanging out with him.
I'll be there Monday. They had a thing at Pour, so it was like for all the regulars. And
I actually need to pick Tony's brain on something.
Gotcha. Well,
how the TV menus operate. I'm curious what he does for that, because I'm collecting ideas for my brother-in-law's future bar and how to do that sort of thing.
Josh, right? He's good people. I like that guy. It's too bad he lives in Greensboro. He needs to be on this fucking podcast because he likes bourbon too. So
he is a Maker's Mark ambassador and has been forever, so he's gotten lots of swag from them, by the way.
Oh, I have some news from Maker's Mark. So what better way to segue than to do the news?
Brought to you by Sponge's Wax Ecstatic.
Oh, this is fun. I have a lot of car news, which is weird because we normally have more booze news, but...
So let's get some booze clues.
We got to find a little paw print. That's the first clue. Put it in our notebook, and then what do we do? Remember, I had nieces and nephews. So
yeah, I was like...
I had to watch a lot of that.
I don't know if Kaylin had seen a lot of that from her babysitting days.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to be a great uncle for the second time. One of my nieces is pregnant.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
I have capacity to be a godfather whenever Kate and Brian have theirs.
What is that?
Basically starting at parenthood. So should something happen to the both of them and their kid is left without a parent,
You have to do it.
Kayla and I will be next in line.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think I want to be that.
In the meantime, I don't feel menacing enough to be the godfather. Can't quite do the proper rasp.
They made the offer they can't refuse. Jaguar Land Rover states that the new Range Rover SV can be customized to your own choice in over 1.6 million ways. Is one of those ways reliability? Very doubtful. I have ridden in Range Rover once. It was quite lovely.
And that was courtesy of the South Park people?
Yeah.
When they had one?
I believe it was a Range Rover.
Ron, my guy I work with, had one and just got rid of it, but his had 207,000 miles on it at the time.
What year was it?
Like a 10.
Did he get the extended warranty?
Everything was okay, and then like a week later, the air suspension went out, so that's when he got rid of it.
Oh yeah.
So he's been trying to replace it. Had picked out a 2014 Lexus GS, and it got transit damaged. So he decided to cancel that order since it was going to be another month before they get the part. And then, upon canceling it, decided he wanted to get that car again after he couldn't find a suitable replacement.
Yeah.
The car already sold to somebody in California.
Well, at least he made the right choice getting away from...
Yeah.
I love those.
I managed to save him from getting a BMW X6. You do realize that the V8s in those are time bombs.
Mm-hmm.
The 6s, at least, are based on something a bit more solid, but
Sure.
With the turbos and the electronics and whatnot, it's not going to be great. But if you had to go that route, there's that. But the X6s and X4s, I still think look like a rejected hat. It's a shame that your X3 and X5 have too much room. And other things I do to make opposite lock crack up every time I keep posting that.
Is it the X6? No, it's the X5. No, X5 looks actually kind of normal, but the X6 is the one that has the really slow. That's so fucking stupid.
And you say the Germans don't have a sense of humor. But yes, here is the Cup utility vehicle.
Yes, but I don't
Too
think
many doors, bro.
I don't think they're doing it. I don't think they're doing it as a joke.
It's not a fucking coupe.
I don't think they're doing it as a joke. Now, I love...
I'm going to get one just to raise chickens in it. It'll be my BMW chicken coop.
Love it. I love the way British cars smell on the inside and feel. They have that, you just... Ugh. I would have to have, the Demuro warranty, but, times 3 to even consider having one. And forget getting a cheap one out of warranty. Nothing more expensive than... a cheap European car.
Yep. Meanwhile, the same service for my point of employment is through Silver Rock. Interesting that they're using the next state over instead of like the Grand Canyon plan.
Uh-huh. Now, is Silver Rock one word where it shares the R, or is it two R's?
I think it's 2. It's been a long time since I've seen it scribbled out.
Because we have an
At
apple.
least that is their branding as such, but I'll get back to you on that.
We have an
'Cause
apple
otherwise,
at
that sounds like
work.
some shit that I would say.
Well, we have an apple at work, the Sweet Tango apples, but it literally
Sweet
is
Tango?
Sweet Tango. Like, and it bothers the shit out of me. Like, you cannot
Well,
share that.
You know how you buy that one, right?
No.
You can only use cash.
And evidently it takes 2 to buy one of those.
2 cashes.
Oh, shit. The strap. Oh, the strap people got. So there's a place called Couch Guitar Straps. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I pegged you to go differently with that. It's called Couch Guitar Straps, and they make guitar straps out of old seatbelts and vintage stuff. So you can actually get like seatbelt from like an old Mercedes, at like a 70s model.
Do they do wallets?
Yeah,
because I want another one of these.
They do. Let's see. Well, I might as well do this on the air. I play kind of low. My strap adjusts to 66 inches. Do you have any available that do that? And yes, they do have. They have belts and wallet, and it's all like when they have the leather, they do like vegan. Like they don't kill any animals for anything. Which honestly,
It's called vinyl.
well, if I'm killing something, I'm gonna eat it. Like I don't care if it. It's let's see. Do you have any
Dude,
available?
I swing both ways. I'm going to kill animals and kill oil. Give me the margarine belt.
The margarine belt. Oh, good Lord. My strap just 66. Do you have any available of that?
Lord Voldemort, thank you.
All right. And then I should tell them, hey, I'm recording a podcast too. Anyway, there's a new startup, clean car company, except it's not EV. The Lightyear
Clean
1.
fuel, okay.
The Lightyear 1, a solar-powered car. No buzz about it.
I was going to say, what is the buzz about it? I was about to ask.
Eyes a 2023 release, and it claims to add 7 miles of range per hour of charge in direct sunlight.
So if you drive this car at the speed of a bicycle, it's going to work.
Yes. Now, I don't know how... Well, the thing is, like, that just kind of negates parking in the garage, doesn't it?
That too.
Or a parking deck.
Uh-huh. And to have enough solar panels to power a car, it's going to require a lot of surface area. Like, simply making it your roof is insufficient.
Yeah. I was going to say, have a parking deck, but it's all one story and there's holes in it. Wait, that's just called a parking lot.
Did I tell you about the dealership I got the red car from?
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
What had been very BMW and Volkswagen heavy, hence the BMW name, they are transitioning into a very EV heavy focus. So they had my dirt cheap Scion, but also had a bunch of Teslas and Fiskars and i3s,
Ew.
and half of their parking lot was covered in solar panels that would also act as shade.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was a really interesting spot, but it seems like it was a mix of electric cars and vehicle wholesaling. However, they acquired the previous car made of cigarette burns.
I'm surprised they had some Karmas. I think it's just called Karmas now, but
or whatever the next thing's going to be.
those are so fucking cool.
It's like they took the BMW giant grille and made it work. Instead of BMW, it's like they went landscape instead of portrait.
Yes. There you go.
Which I can't say for everything, Lexus.
There's no room, though, in them. They're cool and they're big, but there's not a whole lot of room on the inside.
Batteries take up a lot of room, and that design's now 12 years old.
And it's probably my favorite this side of the Tesla Roadster, which is just the Lotus Elise. It's kind of my favorite one.
The new one, I don't believe is. It's something different.
No.
The original one, though.
Yeah, I was talking about the original one, yeah.
I remember seeing that back at the...
I haven't seen the new one.
Nobody has.
Oh, it's
like there was that
dream.
publicity Sprunt.
It's been that kind of...
Yeah.
Sprunt was the name of George Carlin's vaginal spray for...
Yep. The publicity Sprunt.
Oh, geez. Our straps adjust between 38 and 63. We make them in production batches, but I could have one done on spec that adjusts out or to a little past 66 for a $10 custom fee. Awesome.
Vive le costas.
I'd be super interested. Can I give you my email? Sorry. So this is really... I don't know if this is unprofessional or not, but at least you're getting some insight on how this shit works.
Professional? No, one of my favorite lines from Ferris Bueller. A professional what?
I've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It is going to be the best love letter to Chicago you've ever seen. That the whole town rallies around this complete and total jerk-ass slacker, and he's having fun the whole while.
Yeah, I know the story. I've just never seen it. What was it?
86.
86 is
yeah.
my year. Okay.
Yeah. So one reason to like it. And apparently it was filmed in June of 85 that somebody pinpointed the exact baseball game they go to in the movie.
Interesting.
Nerds.
Next up, Esteban. Toyota is rumored to be in the market for creating an EV truck based on the Tacoma or Tundra. The Tacundra? The Tuncoma?
The T100 watt?
I like that. I think they should do that. Boy, you think cars are heavy now. Wait till they're all EV and they're the same size.
Yeah. The 97 would have been about 2,700 pounds since it was the fewest frills possible. The 97 was probably about 3,400 since it was a four-sill two-wheel drive.
That's still pretty light.
Yeah.
But,
a V6 4x4 is pushing 4,000, as well as, newer ones. Yeah, that's two-ton truck. Tundra, I keep joking, is the opposite of a Prius, as that's, 5,500 pounds. Other things I keep saying a lot at work and makes people laugh every single time.
It was a nice truck, but yeah, I understand why they make a four-banger version, but really there's no good reason to have a four-cylinder version. It's either a V6 or a V8 or a turbo V6. If you're it's the same gas mileage.
After the 04 model, when the Tacoma became as big as the T100, it's just, no, don't. I've been there. It felt dangerously slow. Meanwhile, back in the day, Dad almost picked me up a Mercedes 280 SE CE. Something like, it was a big old German tank of a car.
Right.
Automatic V8. I could only imagine what the maintenance cost would have been on that thing because it was old as I am. Instead, wound up with the Volvo that, it could magically make my first car a stick shift. But every time it went in the shop was $500. So it's kind of a mixed blessing that my first car crash and thus first one I survived wasn't a Volvo, but also to be rid of this expensive maintenance thing when the car was only 10 years old.
Damn, it was only 10 years old, wasn't it?
Yeah, because this was a 1990 model built in October of 89, which meant there were parts in it that were built in West Germany.
Fuck, that's so cool, man.
Apparently the car had done time overseas because in the service book were stamps from German dealers.
Interesting.
Or German service. I don't know if I still have that book, but we were looking through that back in the day. All the gauges and instrumentation were Americanized. So it's not like, no, this car had 250,000 kilometers on it when I crashed it.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool that they're going to just do it for an extra $10. I'm going to order two from them.
Nice.
Because the one I have kind of is not, what's the material? Not nylon. It's super, if it mid-song, if it slides off of my shirt and into my neck, it just fucking cuts into it. Seatbelt doesn't really do that.
Yeah, seatbelt's less abrasive, and that seems to be pretty uniform regardless of brand of car. That I've not noticed, one car versus the next having a super abrasive seatbelt. It seems to be this uniform. I would venture a guess nylon, if not partly Kevlar for reinforcement.
Yeah, and like, so here's a top tip
what's
for
the
you.
strap you have now?
I'll pull it out of that case after after this.
After different gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what material that is. I want to say it's some kind of nylon, but it's pretty rough.
I'm gonna say
it's tough, man. I've had it.
I'm looking for more winter hats.
Yeah.
I really don't care for acrylic because it gets itchy.
I've had that strap.
I told Kaylin I want a fleece winter hat. You know what I can't find in the wild?
Fleece
Another fleece winter hat. It's like I possess two that I like, and that long hike from the parking lot to work, like, or if I have to be out diagnosing who knows what went wrong with the power poles, exterior internet appliances.
Yes.
It's not perfect.
I've had that strap for
At least everything's working right now, but that took some poking and prodding into $4,000 in maintenance.
Here's a fun fact for you. Haven't really been doing anything today anyway, so I've had that one like 11 years and it's never failed me, but I kind of want to mix it up and have something a little more comfortable.
And if all else fails, have some fun with it. You could swap it out to have different guitar straps.
They have
Much like, some people go through lots of phone cases. Not it. My fake carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Indestructible case on an indestructible phone. So far, so good.
Technically, I don't need another one, but if I'm getting another guitar, there's no way I'm going... That's so great. There's no way I'm going to remember to take the strap out of that one and put it in the other case for the gig. I'm just not. So just have two, so I don't have to worry about switching them out.
Sure.
It's just easier that way. Speaking of Toyota previews a baby Land Cruiser called the Compact Cruiser, and it will be an EV, also known as a RAV4. Although the pictures that they have kind of look like a cutesy-pootsy version of a four-door FJ Cruiser. It looks kind of... Have you seen it?
It's not a bad-looking rig, but...
It's just weird.
It's like Compact Cruiser, stupid name, and Volkswagen already has CC. Never mind, they kiboshed that handsome devil.
And it's ugly.
And like, what, the CC?
Yeah.
I liked it. But it was like, shame that your Passat had too much room because it's the same fucking car otherwise.
Well, it reminded me of the Mercedes CLA a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't like those
and that
either.
was the first U.S. spec front drive Mercedes. The A-Class
right.
had been had overseas, but that was the first front drive Benz after they've been holding tight on that. Meanwhile, have you seen, oh goodness, the new BMW 2 Series sedan? That is a Mini Cooper-based chassis, but got hit with an ugly stick.
Steve, you know what it makes me envy?
The blind.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Byline.
Hello, you. Nice to meet you.
Am I sweating bullets?
It's hard to do your own elbow bump, but it can...
Says you.
Well, it's not hard to do. It's just
Awkward.
tricky.
Awkward, sure.
Awkward. Acura releases an MDX Type S, which now costs $73,000 fully loaded. I would
And you
really...
still can't get a manual.
I would really have to want. They're pretty now.
That is a lot of money for a Honda Pilot.
It is, and I love the way Acuras look now. They beaked it correctly. It didn't used to be beaked correctly a decade ago. But boy, for $73,000, Steve, you could buy the nicest Land Cruiser, and it would last so fucking long.
Did you see the article where the dude traded out his E39 M5 for a Lexus Land Cruiser, both of which had 190,000 miles on it?
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's a very different twist on vehicle style. And the Land Cruiser long since has been dead transmission-wise, but will outlive us all because it's a vehicular cockroach.
I wonder how hard that would be to retrofit manual gearbox to that. It can't be
Can't
that
be
bad.
that hard. I mean,
No.
it's just big-ass truck. Like, get a Tremec out of a diesel Ram or something.
Yeah, and because the 4Runner and the Land Cruiser aren't that much different in size, and they had the 4Runner in a stick so long, you would think.
That would have been till 2000, and the Tacoma still has it. Apparently, I'm wrong from previous episode when I thought they were killing off the stick Tacoma.
No, they're keeping it.
It appears that's still a thing. I just couldn't find it on the website, but I've still seen plenty of new ones eking through that do have them.
And they're killing off the manual Civic finally after this year, aren't they? Unless it's the Type R.
Unless Type R, SI, or one of the intermediate trims could still be had as such.
I guess I'm okay with that. Like, if you're
not selling it.
Right. I mean, we are the purists, and everybody knows, and we're better than you, and we know it. But thanks, Globo Jim. That was on the other day. Every time that shit's on, I fucking watch. I'm okay with the performance. Like,
I'm going to start a Dodge Wrench League. Where we do nothing but fix Mopars.
There's a good market for that. Ford has released the Shelby GT500 KR, celebrating 60 years of the GT500, and it has 900 horsepower. That's a way to go out.
And they named it after Swedish currency? What's the KR?
I could not tell you.
King of the Road edition. Get some wood vinyl paneling on it, man.
Well, 60 in Roman numerals is LX, right?
Yeah.
They could have just called it the Ford Mustang LX.
And not since 1993 has that been a thing, back when I kept calling Fox Bodies the Escort Stangs because I didn't know any better. But they still look the same, damn it.
They could have called it an LX and it had 900 horsepower.
Apparently there are still 800,000 Fox Body Mustangs registered.
It's indestructible. I mean,
I've seen what happens if you crash something into the front end of it.
Yikes.
Oh, it's very destructible.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's not good.
I meant the engine.
Yeah.
It's underpowered, but fun fact, the GT Mustang was...
more cylinders than I ever had.
Not me. Only once. But very slow.
At least matched.
But very slow, yeah. The LX Mustang with the 5.0 was noticeably faster than the GT.
Less shit.
Because if you remember, it was like the notchback without the spoiler and the ground effects and everything. There was a guy...
The hatchback added some weight and the ground effects, and apparently the... What was it Fair had? The SSP, that was the Highway Patrol version, was even fewer frills.
Oh, yeah. I remember those. There was one in Stanley County, I think, and then that's pretty much the only one. It was the black and white with the Interceptor package. That'd be cool to find one now. That ran.
Well, I guess nowadays it's way too late to be pulled over by one. Otherwise, mine's all been Crown Vics and Chargers.
Didn't they have, like, back in my home in Stanley County, they had Caprices for...
I've never been pulled by a Chevy.
Oh, you're talking about
what
you've been
I'm
pulled
talking
by.
about like whatever I've been pulled over by, and like police car wise, it's all been Crown Vics and Chargers, but that would still be the case, at least Charger wise.
I've been, yep, me too. Crown Vics and Chargers, and actually, I don't think I've ever been pulled by a Charger. I think I've only been pulled by Crown Vics.
So that means it's been a while.
Hold on. I'm knocking on real wood. This isn't real wood.
Knock on composite.
Well, this is what the construction of that guitar I was telling. It was a laminate composite. It's not plywood. It's better than that, but that's solid. Never mind. We're past that.
Sounds expensive. Better than plywood. Otherwise, I'm going to steal this table and build Brian's house with it. Damn it.
Yep, I've only been pulled by Crown Vics, actually. Interesting. My last ticket
and that's getting more and more difficult.
My last ticket was summer of 2006. But my last accident was in 2014.
Yeah.
So, but I left the scene. But it was a single car accident, guys.
Yeah,
I didn't hit anybody. I left my own scene. It was a very masturbatory accident. I started.
Yeah,
I finished.
my last speeding ticket was a month or two before I met Kaylin, so early 2016.
How fast were you going?
78 on 77 and a 55 zone right before getting on 85.
That's not that
So
bad.
upon posting such, everyone's like, how? How can you go that fast on that portion of 77?
My speeding ticket I got was 77. I think 77 and a 55. But it was like right after the fucking change and the trooper got me. But
Yeah.
I got a seatbelt ticket that same day on my Starion that had automatic seatbelts.
Because your lap belt wasn't?
I took it off to get I legitimately had it on, but I took it out to get my wallet out because I had the.
That's a dick move, trooper boy.
Yeah, really. At any rate, doesn't fucking matter now. That was in South Carolina, so South Carolina sucks, except for Charleston, Hilton Head, Greenville, Spartanburg,
is
Columbia.
RJ Rocker still a thing?
Yes. All right, all the cities are cool.
Yeah. Whatever Killer Barbecue that made their way to Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name right now, but it's worth a go.
You told me about that. I can't remember the name of it either. Lexus is working.
I think it was Rodney Scott's, and Lexus is going to go Lexectric.
I like Lexus design. At least it's interesting. It might not be.
The grill I'm not crazy about, but the smaller car, the better it looks.
Uh-huh.
If it's on the Lexus 4Runner, fucking get it. That's rivaling Norelco.
Yeah. The smaller cars look better.
Then I'm going to feel like Larry from was it The State or Kids in the Hall?
Oh yeah.
I could drag my balls on it.
Yeah. Yes. God damn, I haven't heard that reference in a while. Lexus is working on its successor to the LFA, an EV hypercar with 400 miles of range and 0 to 60 in the low twos.
You know, the NSX was around such a long time as such a legendary car, and that's attainable. The LFA remains super obscure.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
And never looked as good.
Absolutely. But it sounded great.
Yeah.
That V10. I like that.
Why can't all double 5 cylinders sound the part?
But the thing is, I like the Formula One sound, but I also like pushrod LS1 rumbly American V8 sound. I like both of them. I don't have a preference. I just like both of them. It is funny to hear the 458 Italia at Redline and then an S2000 at Redline, and you hear it and you go, that sounds fairly similar, doesn't it?
Are you feeling very Jen from The Office official? It's the same picture. What does the waveform look like, man?
I've been told I need to watch that show, and I know it's probably funny.
Have you never tuned to Comedy Central ever?
No.
Because it's always on.
I don't watch TV. Like, I watch Hornets games, and then I'm on YouTube. I found a channel before we get into the beer part of this. It's called Soft White Underbelly. This guy interviews like really interesting people. And by really interesting people, I mean it'll say their name and then heroin addict or pimp or child sex abuse survivor, and he'll interview these people, and it's honest interview, just him, and he just lets them speak, and he asks them where they're from, childhood. Boy, it's deep. It's real deep, and this guy's on there. Okay, he's a heroin addict.
Sounds like it was the Moth.
He's a heroin addict, and he's got his jacket draped over his arm and everything, and I was like, have you been? He's like, I've OD'd like 75 times and blah blah blah. He's a younger guy, like probably 29, 30, and he's like, well, you know what heroin does to you? And he takes the jacket he had draped over his arm. He had a giant abscess on his arm, like was open, just completely open. And he's like, that's what it does to you. And the guy's like, shouldn't you have that covered up? He goes, I just got it covered up at the hospital and I took it off. He's like, why? He's like, so I could shoot dope in it. He's like, you don't want this life. He said, I can't stop. So that channel makes me feel better about my own life. You're not going to watch it, are you?
The best I can offer is get the audio rips and just at least listen to their stories. This giant gaping dope hole.
Yeah. Like that big.
That sounds a lot much.
It's a lot.
It's the entirety of your cat head.
Yeah, it was big.
On your arm there.
It was big. So, and he's like, you don't want to do he's like, I can't stop. He's like, I've stopped before and the dope sick hurts so bad I'd rather be dead. So I was like, oh. If that's ever a excuse not to put needles in your body like that, then let's go on happier story, Steve. You want to do that?
Okay.
Big Red flavored beer is debuting in San Antonio stores this week. And not
As
the
in-
gum. The soda Big Red. Do you remember Big Red soda?
Cherry flavored?
Yeah, I love it.
I always thought it was really funny. I don't think I've ever had it, but at least I'm aware of it being Big Red cherry soda versus Big Red cinnamon gum.
Yes.
With their powers combined, though,
Ooh.
that wouldn't suck.
That would be good. I don't know what it's
redder.
I don't know what it's
And
called.
It's made in Russia. What?
In Soviet Russia, red bigs you.
What does it even mean?
God damn it, I need some paper to write that shit down with. I normally do this. I haven't seen Big Red
Hey,
soda in
we're in a new
years.
century, man. This doesn't need to make any sense.
I haven't
and
seen-
still won't.
I haven't seen Big Red soda since my Stanley County days. So I told you the cherry soda story at the movie theater, didn't I?
My entire brain's not coming up with anything.
We used to know a guy.
Was this like comparable to Code Red?
No, it was better than Code Red. All right, so
Cheerwine?
the movie
Something in
theater is
between?
better than Cheerwine. Sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, North Carolina purists, but
Dude, you work for a Salisbury-based company. You can't say that sort of thing here, man.
you know why it was better? Because it tasted like a maraschino cherry soda. It was so sweet and cherry full that
This makes my teeth hurt already.
Oh, it was
Go
great.
on. Speaking of, do not get the holiday edition Cheerwine. It was made extra sweet, and like I remember picking up years ago. It's like, oh, it's still out there, and it's still not good.
okay. So the
Anyway,
movie, yep. Voldemort and I used to go to the movie theater in Albemarle, and Brandon was working at the movie theater, and I ordered large popcorn and a large cherry soda. It was Minute Maid cherry soda. And he's like, "Got you." So he hands me my large tub of popcorn that's in the hard bucket. You know, the bucket about that big.
I'm
And
just
then
trying to process Minute Maid cherry soda. It's like
wait.
Minute Maid's owned by Coca-Cola, making a superior product. Mm-hmm. Cherry Coke.
Yep.
Anyway, who?
Brandon turns around, and in the tub of popcorn cardboard thing has a giant thing of cherry. He said, "Large cherry soda." Grr. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, by the way, the tub's this big, okay? And like that tall. I could only get through about 2/3 of it before I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And I'm like 17, so made of magic, and you know.
Yeah, I know
couldn't
the
do
days
it.
because like back when I worked at the Sam's Club tire department, the soda machine was right there, and you could buy the quart cup of soda from the concession stand for 75 cents. And then refill that for free. Mm-hmm. And then I was also working at the restaurant at the time, and then refill it there to have this giant thing. How on earth I didn't have a caffeinated heart attack or have my teeth fall out of my face, I don't know. But that was a lot of Mountain Dew back when I was 21.
So, Jesus, that would have been 2003. 2002, 2003.
Or a little bit later, 22, 23. It's like it was 04 to 06 were
Okay.
those days. So 22, 23, that, yeah, double jobbing it initially. Mm-hmm. That was a bigger, happier blur than double jobbing it until 2 years ago. That
Yeah.
was
Code Red
a
came
little
out.
more disillusioning.
Code Red came out in like 2000. I remember that because I was a freshman in high school, and that was so we had the machines outside weightlifting, and then like in the quad area and all that shit. Not quad. What the fuck am I talking about? Breezeway area. And
You went to college?
yeah, straight to college after middle school. Super genius. So the machines had like 8 buttons, and like they got to a point where fucking 4 of them were Code Red, like because it just sold out. Well, one day it like malfunctioned. So I think it was Amber Upright, and she went to go get a Code Red. I was like, get me one too, and like she put money in, and like it shot one code red out, and then it shot another one, and then it just fucking kept shooting code red. So people just fucking bump rush that shit and just fucking grabbing code red. And like the next day, it was like fucking new grape. I'm like, God damn it, man!
Yeah, the bears we have a code red and code red.
Do you ever?
You get a diabetes, and you get a triabetes, and you get a quadribetes, you get a pentabetes, you get a hexabetes.
Sexabetes sounds fun and like fat sex.
And heptabetes sounds a little salacious. Octabetes.
So my favorite, one of my
Noctabetes.
one of my guys at work, Tevin, who currently works for me, not for much longer because I'm leaving. He said, "You want to hear a funny story?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So I called out Monday." I'm like, "Yeah,
no.
I know, I was here." He's like, "Well, I didn't feel good, so I went to urgent care." And he's like, I haven't been able to eat for a couple days. And Tevin's probably 6'3" and 240. And
Is this your Questlove guy?
Questlove, looks just like Questlove. And he goes, he's like, "Doc, my diet's bad, and I don't think, like, I can't eat anything without getting," he's like, "I think I'm diabetic." And he said, the guy just like looked up and goes, "That's unfortunate." And he's like, I think I need a new doctor."
Might be my first self-diagnosis of diabetes of which I have ever heard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Why would you say that? That's amazing.
No condolences. Well, it certainly does not sound ironic.
Yeah. I don't think he's diabetic. I think it's
just really bad dietary choices to do whatever it is that he's done and take no further action. Discover you enjoy eating baby carrots.
With what dip, though? You're a ranch guy.
Yeah, but really the power move there is getting the hang of them on their own. So no peanut butter, no ranch, no Italian dressing, just as they are.
Interesting.
Or if you need something to dunk them in, see if you like them with, I don't know, mustard or vinegar, like something that has no calories. Still offer some zest to it, but something that you can eat as much as you want, but nothing added, and not being an artificial sweetener. Like there are options.
I could do spinach dip, but then again, cream cheese is super fucking fattening.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kaylin's favorite vegetable is spinach. And either be it, plain leaves on a salad or to saute them. Mm-hmm. Which is real funny when you're doing spinach on a skillet, they shrink.
Yeah. Oh, any green?
Yeah.
Any green, like collard greens or like turnips, mustards, and kale. Like you could take a bunch this big and then cook it, and it's like this big. It still tastes like grass.
To
me.
You haven't had ours.
I hate that. I hate it. I did that to somebody.
Yeah, my stuffed mushrooms. Oh, it's her stuffed mushrooms, but I did all the prep work.
I did that at work.
You're going to be indifferent to this news, but before Thanksgiving, did 6 pounds of mushrooms for stuffed mushrooms.
I did that at work to a customer. They was like, "Where are the mushrooms?" I was like, and I showed her, and she goes, "These are so good." I was like, "More for you." I was like, I'm not really a big fan." She said, "Well, you haven't had it the way I make it." I was like, "Do you like pickled pork brains?" She goes, "No." I was like, "You haven't had it the way I make it." She goes, "Touche."
Wait, when and how are you making yours?
I'm making a point. You don't have to tell the truth if you're making a point.
Dude, I think it was veal brains I had at the Wrecking Bar in Atlanta a couple years ago following one of the beer fests.
Super creamy, right?
Creamy and the saltiest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was, Gray was there, and that is probably the strangest thing I've ever had. Mm-hmm. Like, oh wait, they have this weird thing. Like, oh, it's on. They never had it again, but that remains the weirdest thing I've had.
Meat and like organs and entrails and shit. I don't draw any line. I'll try anything, but like bugs and shit like that, I just can't do it. Like,
what's your stance on any form of liver?
I like liver.
I'd rather eat a magnet. It is
but liver
so
mush?
bad. Yeah, liver mush. I like that. Like that doesn't strike me as being nearly as metallic. Yeah, like standard beef liver. Like I will need to drink a quart of gravy to make that palpable.
So I don't think I've actually had like a liver and onions dish that's like a I don't think I've actually had like calf liver or anything, but liver mush is my fucking jam.
Liver mush, good.
Okay,
but standard liver and
just
onions.
liver. I haven't tried it.
Eat a magnet first and then try that. Like it's that is up there in my don't eats, and I have few.
What about beef tongue?
Tried it like the tacos. Like I love it. The lingua. That was the weakest offering. I didn't like it.
I like it. I like that. And Rocky Mountain oysters I've had once.
Yep, had that.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's fucking good.
It was. I didn't know beef could make chicken nuggets. It's a
big nugget.
Yeah, that too. Nugget. But flavor and texture wise, look similar. Like, just had a wild hair to try it at. What's that place that's possible to get to? Maybe it was Dish in Plaza Midwood.
Yeah,
that was 8 or 9 years ago with whichever trouble it was at the time. Yeah. Tried it, enjoyed it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a joke, but I enjoy them.
The nuggets are big when the family pack is 2. What are we gonna have next, Steve? I got Saranac caramel porter, and I've got 2 KBSs of different flavors, and then I've got the 4 tall boys that you brought.
We'll try some tall boys.
We can do that when you finish that. A study from Beverage Daily predicts that in 2022, tequila will take over market share over vodka. Which one would you rather have?
By proxy, vodka, but out of all those, I'd rather have gin.
Fair. I would rather have tequila, but I like tequila, and you don't hate it, but it's not your first choice.
If it's been margaritaized, we'll deal.
Well, Colin just straight up in the mountains just poured a glass of of tequila.
Like that has got to be the craziest thing that he does. It's like, really took a hankering to silver tequila. It's always like something good.
Reposado, yeah.
But it's like nobody else is taken to tequila the way you do, Guinness boy.
I've never had it when he just straight up put it in the freezer overnight, and when it's that cold, I'm telling you, it's. But by the way, Greg wants to be on the podcast soon, and he's bringing a bunch. He's a tequila guy too, so he's going to bring a bunch of tequila. I was like, okay.
One of the more interesting ones I've also seen along the way are the coffee tequilas.
I don't think I've had that.
Have I ever told you about those?
I don't. If you have, it's been so long I don't remember.
Thanks to Kat, Josh, and Mom, I heard about that, and it doesn't suck.
Okay.
Somehow, with their powers combined,
well,
it takes that edge off.
My bourbon tequila downstairs we've had before. It's been a while. Karin and Sean have the other 3 bottles because, of course, they do, and they didn't buy the other one because I have it, and we're going to do a tasting one night to see if we could. We need to do it on here. Just have them on here and do that.
Sure.
If you're watching this, damn it, y'all need to come over. It would be the first married couple we've had on here from the 2 married guys. One a little longer than the other, but 2 married guys. Beam Suntory.
4 months. 8 years?
8 years.
It's like, whatevs.
Beam Suntory and Maker's Mark pledge $1 million and a rare bottle auction for the Tornado Relief Fund in Kentucky, and all the proceeds go to families.
Beam Suntory. So they're on cahoots. I knew Jim Beam got bought by a Chinese conglomerate. Suntory is Japanese.
I really think so.
I didn't know that was a thing, but Suntory whiskey is fantabulous, and I had no complaints after getting my brother and sister-in-law a body bottle of Suntory gin for Festivus years ago.
Interesting. I didn't know Japan was big on gin, but interesting. By the way, you need to have that taco shop. The tacos at
White Duck.
oh my god, they're so fucking good.
After last episode, Kaylin, Adam, and I went there.
How'd you like it?
Yes.
Oh my god, isn't it great? It's so good.
And we almost had the place to ourselves. That it was by then 9 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yep, the margarita that I had there at that particular location is a little less of a margarita than it is. Here's your glass of tequila with some ice and some salt in it. Thanks. Appreciate that, Colin.
Cool.
Same way with Cookout and the milkshakes. There's no milkshake. They put ice cream in a cup, and they give you a straw that is the diameter of the pinhole of this, and you have an aneurysm if you try to suck any ice cream through that straw. It's delicious, but it's not a milkshake. It's ice cream in a cup. And other Maker's Mark news, Maker's Mark announces Whiskey Flights. It's not what you think. Whiskey Flights is a program designed to reimburse air travelers doing the Bourbon Trail, Doohickey in Kentucky. They reimburse the air travelers with checked bag fees if you're purchasing whiskey to take home on your flight with you. So you just provide your receipt for your checked bag to check your bag of whiskey, and they reimburse you for it. That's cool.
Sweet. Never mind. That's drivable.
Fair, but that's like
yeah.
It's 480 miles.
Yeah.
And it's not easy miles.
Because either you have to go through the flatlands of Tennessee and die of boredom, or go through the mountains and toll booths of West Virginia. I know this from the one time I went there 20 years ago through one of my cousin's graduations to make it to Louisville. Mm-hmm. And that's actually where one of our favorite managers quit yesterday. Well, his last day was yesterday to move back home to outside Louisville.
Uh-huh.
I was like, shit, it was a good one. Because it appeared that if people were messing up, like, he would kibosh that in a hurry. But for the longest time, like, all he and I would talk about were, like, beer and food.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Best friend you ever had at work.
And also was instrumental in me getting my new position.
What's the guy's name?
Ben.
Maybe we should.
I think he's in town till like Tuesday or Wednesday.
If there's an open invitation in Louisville, we can just go see Ben and hang out.
I'll let him follow my car wreck. I have his number, so I just drop him a line and
interesting.
Go see do stuff.
I want to go with Andy because Andy knows about it up there.
How's he doing nowadays?
Andy's good. Y'all have heard us talk about Andy before, so Andy is on the border. Got kiboshed, to use Steve's word I hadn't heard until Steve started using it.
Thanks, Seinfeld.
It got ixnayed in May-ish or June.
That sounds about right.
And he is at Carolina Ale House for lunch Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
The one at Concord Mills? Or
no.
Where's another one?
Waverly. Providence, south.
Okay.
Not far from on the border.
Okay. Like Waverly, it's like, I've seen that name, but I can't place it.
Yeah. Whatever. So he does the Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Don't break your old computer.
You mean your computer?
It was my sister's old computer. It's like, dude, that thing's 12 years old. Like, if it busts, like, I'll just get another one. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. So
that's not an invitation to break it, but when it does, don't worry too much.
So he does lunch shifts on the weekend and Monday there, because Saturday, Sunday, you got college football and you got football, NFL. He makes great money at Carolina Ale House. He already knows about beer and booze and shit like that. So he does lunch those 3 days. And then he does dinner at Village Tavern in South Park on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think he's off every Friday. I've never been to Village Tavern.
I have not been to the one. No, I've been to one in South Park once, and been to one in Greensboro a few times, since that's not far from Parents' Place.
I didn't know it was a chain.
At least, maybe it's a localized one, but I'm aware of, home and away.
Sure.
I guess here's home, away's there, but that's hometown, so home and home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. you can't go wrong with anything they have.
Fair.
The parking sucks at either one, so there's that.
I think he said like the second week he was at Ale House, he had a call out at the bar, so he worked a double by himself at a bar he wasn't used to on a college game day, and he's like, man, I made like fucking $600 that night. So I was, he's like, I was busy. But he said he likes being busy because
it makes the time fly.
It makes it being busy as a bartender when you don't have to pull the tips with the other bartenders means you get to keep all the money. So not only are you busy and the time goes by,
and that's probably going bar to bar, restaurant to restaurant,
sure,
if and how that operates, right?
Yeah. So he's doing all right.
Yeah.
He's still got his 2 racehorses. He needs to be on this podcast. Like, Andy, please, if you're watching, please be on this. I miss our On the Border, but
we know where and when to find them.
Yes. Fun fact, though, I'm not going to be off during the week anymore after the first of the year. So I want to take at least 4 or 5 days off before I start my new job, but I just don't know if that's going to happen or not. Emily and I are going to Vegas. I forgot to tell you that. We need more beer.
We still do.
What do you want? You go over there and you pick whatever's not that.
Something tall boy.
Yeah,
thing.
We can share the tall boy. So Emily's coming to my birthday extravaganza this year.
Next year.
Yeah, it's true.
So, whatever's in 2 months.
She was on the fence, but she put her time in. And because I've been to Vegas and stayed at Caesars resorts so frequently, we are going February 8th through the 12th. And we are flying direct flights to and from. We're staying at Caesar's Palace this time, the Mac Daddy. And when Steve comes back, he's going to guess how much it's going to cost Emily and I together. It looks like he's deliberating. He's scratching his head. Yeah, let's do it. Pick that one. That's from the cabin, too. You haven't had that one. It's interesting. See, before you guess how much our trip, Emily and me, Emily and I, yep, our Emily and mine's trip to Vegas, we're leaving February 8th. We're flying directly to Las Vegas. We're staying until the 12th. So it's Tuesday through Saturday. Together. Hotel, Caesar's Palace, airfare, round trip, everything included. How much did I pay? For 2 people.
For a good time, go to 777 Casino Drive, Cherokee.
No.
So it didn't cost you $700 anything.
No.
$400.
No.
$200.
Well, okay. So,
but with including airfare.
All right. So the room,
lodging has been covered through your shenanigans.
The room was comped the whole time. I got the room comped. So, but I got to pay resort fees.
Vague.
Every Vegas hotel has resort fees. So the hotel for 5 days and 4 nights was $200 for 2 people. And the airfare was $375. So Emily and I are going 5 days and 4 nights together for $575. Blam! And it's staying at Caesar's Palace this time instead of their satellite properties, which are Bally's, Paris,
Nero,
Harrah's,
Caligula. Caligula in Vegas will be the most amazing debauchery ever.
I'm telling you what, I'm going until the day I die. I'm going to Vegas once a year. I love that fucking city so much. I only wish you could make it this time. I only wish you could make it like one of the times I go. If I just pay for the whole trip, will you just come with me?
Oh, dear. All right, from the last one.
I wasn't there for that one.
I was like, no.
I wasn't there for that one. Well, so Christmas this year was... Emily's parents were like, we're just going to give y'all $500 and y'all just buy whatever you want. I'm like, okay. That is just fun, new guitar fun, but I don't know, man. So I don't know if Karin and Sean are going to be able to make it, but Colin's coming. And Colin's brother and his wife and some friends are coming. They're going to stay at their resort, which you stayed at, right?
No,
You stayed
when
at
I went
Flamingo?
was at the Link.
Link,
next
okay.
door to the Flamingo,
Which is also a Caesar's
which
property, I think.
I don't know who owns what. It's just a matter of figuring out the happy hours
Yes.
between everything is how you can do Vegas super cheap.
Did you go to the dollar beer?
No, it was the 50-cent beer.
That's right.
Because that was right before I flew out.
Uh-huh.
And I proceeded to dump, I don't know, a lot of money. And then, basically 200% tips on 50-cent, Miller Coors garbage.
Yes.
But it was my last day in town, so it's like, yeah, I'll go schmooze with whoever.
Well,
Probably
Coors-
the funniest thing going was the poor young lady that looked like Eric Idle.
Yeek.
That
Compliment to neither.
yeah, it was like she and her mom, like, you look like one of the guys from Monty Python in the worst possible way.
Steve? Life and Limb. Ale brewed with maple syrup and birch syrup. Yeah.
Well, things I've never seen for Vermont.
Yeah. Thanks, Bernie. Thanks, Marie Callender. Have you seen that meme?
Nope.
Thanks, Marie Callender.
That's not a person. That's a pot pie.
Somebody bought a Marie Callender dessert and they burnt the shit out of it and they posted a negative review of Marie Callender and it said, "You ruined my Thanksgiving dinner. Thanks, Marie Callender." So now people are posting thanks Marie Callender for shit that's not anybody's fault but theirs.
I keep seeing something else from some other burnt pie, but never did Marie Callender pop up. It was blah blah blah's name that messed up.
Yep.
Perhaps it's the same thing. That's this generously enflambéed entree. Meanwhile, I currently have riding shotgun in my car a butane torch because
hot.
Dad wanted a butane torch. After discounted Harbor Freight, because why not? $12.
I love Harbor Freight. That's where I got my breaker bar, my 23-inch breaker bar for fucking $9.
Nice.
Which I had to use on my fucking wheel when I had the flat, or not the flat, but I had the screw in the tire. And the guy torqued my wheel down to 130 fucking foot-pounds.
That should go for, 100?
Yeah. And he was not, every other repair, the repair he did was great. He was professional, but he's like, well, these are bigger wheels and tires. I'm like, nah, man, those are the stock wheels and tires on the stock 2021 Willis Jeep.
And go ahead, look it up. If the Willis and the Sport have different torque specs,
They're not. It's Jeep.
It's still 100. So
Jeep.
it's still standard Mopar, standard domestic, using 100.
Yep.
Usually the American cars take 100. The Japanese cars typically take 80. The Volvo and most Subarus take 65, 63.
Yeah.
And if you have a heavy-duty thing like an F-350, takes 140.
Yes. But it's also 6-lug, and it's made for that. This is the stock wheel and tire combo for a JL Wrangler, which mine's a JK. But they're mechanically the same fucking thing. And so he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll loosen it. And he loosened it a little bit. And I had to get my breaker. So my torque wrench is 16. Anyway, I took my breaker bar. I had to stand on it to break all the fucking lug nuts loose. So
you still don't have any form of pneumatic or electrical torque gun here, do you?
Yes, but for loosening purposes, my cordless Cobalt will only go to 85 foot-pounds. So it's not going to loosen 135 foot-pounds.
No.
It'll loosen.
So I'm kicking myself for not picking up one at Lidl of all places that they had an electric one that could do 130 foot-pounds.
Oh, nice.
I'm going wheel shopping at Pull Apart.
Yeah.
Because my car still shakes like a dog shitting razor blades.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, and now that's been 10,000 miles of that. It's I really need to fix that. Because as much as I like the way those wheels look, the car's not riding nearly as well as it should.
No.
And now, I have a leaky tire.
If you want the best cordless tools, they're Milwaukee. But Cobalts are no slouch.
Yeah.
So, back to that.
Huh?
Anheuser-Busch is investigating if spent grains from beer can be re-engineered to make vegan milk and eggs. If it's good, it's good. I don't care what it's made from.
Yeah. I told you about Ben Tan, right? The Vietnamese joint.
Yeah.
I've dabbled in their tofu a lot.
More for you. I don't like tofu. You weren't at Sean Karn's wedding. You were on your mini moon.
Yeah.
So they had meatballs with Parmesan. It was, meatball with meat. Parmesan, marinara. They had cauliflower with the same shit. I went back for the cauliflower ones. You know why? The texture just melted. It was super, just fan-fucking-tastic. Somebody calling you?
No, I just checked my phone a moment ago to see if I had any messages, and then the phone lights right back up after I tried to
Mine does that all the
check.
time.
I'm busy, lady.
I think it's because Gmail usually updates every 15 minutes.
This would be Verizon and Verizon.
I'm on Verizon now. I don't know if I said that but about a month now.
I don't. You might have mentioned it on the last pod at the bar.
I almost feel like we have to sneak in our on location ones at Pour because Dale and Sandy are going to try to swoop in and give us something nice.
Darn. Here's some crazy heads on a stick, and here's some desserts.
Yeah, and I don't know what I did with the balloons, but I don't know. I had to move the guitars because the humidor's over there. I'll tell you what, though. I got to work tomorrow morning, but knowing I don't have to work many more Sundays really makes tomorrow going to be not hurting quite as much. This is the first Saturday I haven't had a show in 6 weeks, so it's kind of nice to chill out a little bit. Moving on from beer news into music news, music news.
Yeah.
Priyanka, this is still beer news. God damn it. All right, we got one more before we go to music news. Priyanka Chopra, a former Bollywood star and current cast of the new Matrix movie, swears by using beer as a hair conditioner. Doesn't say what kind of beer, but we had an Indian beer on here before about 20 episodes ago. You remember that?
Nah.
I think it was called Taj Mahal. Of course it was. It was pretty good. I can't imagine that being... I don't know. I don't know. You can do a beer spa at... is it Louisville? Somewhere you can do a beer spa where you can take a bath and like exfoliate with beer. But I don't know. I like drinking it so much. I don't know what the bath would be like. Have you ever used beer for another purpose besides drinking, Steve, or cooking?
Between the two of those, no.
Well, we can move on. Who called?
Kaylin.
Kaylin.
After I dropped her line saying, yeah, I was at work for 3 hours, not 20 minutes. Because I discovered this became helpless. So I was like, yep. Troubleshooting. Like, yep. And the NES Zapper is proving ineffective.
Yeah. What's she got on the preference menu? While you're doing that, Eric Clapton has reportedly successfully sued 55-year-old widow for listing a bootleg CD of his concert on eBay for $11, and she will be facing a $280,000 fine.
Dick.
Evidently, Eric Clapton is pretty racist, too. Have you read that article?
No.
Don't. It'll ruin him for you.
Come on. The guy had a song called Cocaine.
He likes his whites.
Womp. Apparently, Derek fell for that domino.
Rod Stewart and his son have pled guilty to a misdemeanor battery charge stemming from a 2019 fight at a Florida resort. Look. If you're a celebrity, will you stop indulging these people and just whatever people want to yell at you, let them do it. I can't imagine what they could have yelled at him and his son. For him to be that mad to attack somebody, knowing they're going to sue you for half of your catalog. Just, I don't care. Somebody give me $100,000. I can say whatever I want to you. Here's $100,000. Okay. Give me your best fucking shot. And last but not least, while you're letting the lady know, Bruce Springsteen is the latest artist to sell his entire music catalog. This time for how much?
$100 million.
More.
250.
More.
500.
$500 million.
This sounds like an NFT at this point.
What is an NFT again?
The non-fungible trade. Someone's spending an awful lot of money for something that already exists. How do I make an NFT? Like, oh, good. You're going to find the correct sucker to spend entirely too much on something that exists and can be replicated again and again.
Yep.
Did Napster teach you dumbasses nothing?
Evidently, we know the answer to that. By the way, Mr. IT, what would cause this computer that you built me that to, while I'm watching videos, just completely disconnect from the internet? And then I have to reconnect every hour?
Meanwhile, it appears that
Still connected now.
your laptop, it thinks it's connected to Wi-Fi, so that's weird.
It should be because it's Cat Ranch. It's wireless, right?
Where's your router?
Downstairs.
Okay.
There's the antennas in the back, I think you gave me.
Okay. That's my immediate thought. It's like, yeah, your internet's in here, right? It's not.
It's downstairs, yeah. It would just, it will so before I play a show, I watch concerts to get hyped up for it, and like halfway through the it'll just turn off. This is troubleshooting on air, so my bad.
No.
I'll let you solve one problem at a time.
My face, my shirt color, too.
You've had enough problems with computer today that we can just sleep on that one. What's Kaylin want tonight?
I just said that she said, I thought you had a show tonight. Have fun. It's like, different show. I told him noon, then 3, then 6. Any idea for dinner, less than what is grillable? Empire and White Duck are plans B.
So we're at the mercy of what Kay, which I'm okay with because there's not anything you're going to suggest that I'm going to just say no. It's only 8 o'clock. And like I said, I don't have to work many more Sundays. So I go to work Sunday, Monday this week. I'm off Tuesday, and then work Wednesday, Thursday, and then a half day Christmas Eve. And then we're closed Christmas Day. That's the only day we're closed.
Huh.
I can't wait to not have to work weekends anymore. It's going to be so great. And for 50 cents less an hour.
Darn.
I don't put a 40-hour weekend now. So I'm not really losing any money. I leave early every day because I'm good at what I do. Like
okay. I figured they're paying you for it. Just take and run.
I'll stay for that.
Just die of boredom.
I'll stay Monday through Friday, but like on the weekend, on Saturday, if I'm done with everything, and I'm 2 hours short for the week, I'm done. Okay. I'm like, Justin, he's like, go home. I got it. I'm like, okay.
Justin being one of your guys, a manager,
another one of my guys.
Okay.
Because like, I'm good at what I do, but I don't want to big up the fact that everybody that works for me, minus everybody that works for me is great. One of them is just a big stoner, and it's his part-time job. He doesn't give a shit. I don't really need a lot out of him. Everybody else that works for me is so competent.
So he will not be in the running for your replacement.
No. Nobody wants my replacement. Nobody wants to do it.
They've seen you do what you do, and they don't envy any of that.
Samir doesn't want to do it.
Meanwhile, the manager that left as of Friday was probably in the lining to be the next general manager of the Concord site.
Oh, wow.
So his departure was a shock to everybody.
Jeez.
Like, else... Pedro's still GM, but he has big hopes to move back to Oklahoma City, his hometown where his family are. Doesn't it?
I heard that place was the bomb.
Anyway, but that's where his family is, so he's going to be managing that site once it opens.
Okay.
It's like, and for what's worth, like, could he remote, like, general manage that? Maybe. But it's been really funny to see anybody, like, with that drive and also curse like a sailor, so it remains really entertaining, any interaction I have with them. It's like he's one of the guys, like, a lot of people there are afraid of him. I'm not.
Why would they be afraid of him?
It's just, I could see why he'd be intimidating, to be perhaps a bit of a hothead and was like really trying to get things done, and came from 3M, like making various coatings and chemicals and wraps and whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been through a lot of stuff in his professional career, and now, hey, he's here and might have 5 years on me. He's entertaining, and anytime he goes on an F-bomb spree, like, well, that's a bit unprofessional, but it's hilarious.
One of our specialists came by. He's like, heard you stepping down? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, the pay scale. He said, the pay scale increased. He's like, if you stuck around, you could make more money. I'm like, if I want to make more money, I'd step up, not down. I want the schedule.
Yeah. It's a matter of self-preservation that you're doing this. That
he understands.
Good. Yeah. It's just like,
he gets it. He was joking with me. He's like, well, I was like, look, Toby was
like,
out.
I'm sorry. Top pay does what? That you're at the top pay for what you do, and to incur, 50 cents, not bad. Like, we'll find stray quarters and throw them at you. Therefore, you have to start an arcade.
Nice. I was explaining. I said, well, Toby was out with COVID. So Saturday, I played at High Branch. So I made $250 playing. And then I made $100 in tips. So I made $350 in one night, in 2 hours. So if you gave me a $5 an hour raise, I'd have to work 40 hours to make $200 extra. So, what can you offer me?
Those not on video cannot hear my head shake enough at that news.
So
no.
Yeah.
No.
$5 an hour is not even worth. Like,
no.
So top pay for my job I do now is $27 an hour. It's top pay. But I have a paid hobby.
Yeah.
So, like I said, add $5. It doesn't. I'm doing it for the schedule.
Yeah.
And then if I don't have a show, or if I don't have shows for the weekend, okay? Friday, I'm like, you know what? Emmy, let's go to Raleigh for the weekend. Let's go to the beach for the weekend. Let's do anything we want to do for the weekend. Yeah. I don't have shows.
You can actually do that.
I can
get away with
or
it. And
I have friends are going out. I don't know.
Do a thing.
See my friends
and
not have to like leave at 8 o'clock because I got to get enough sleep to function the next day. What kind of price can you put on that? Like, I'm glad I have a hobby that pays. Now, I've worked hard at that craft,
everything. Sure.
But I'm glad that I have that talent. And because I do, I'm not getting any younger. It gets really hard to get home at midnight and get up at 5:30. Because I'm not one of the kind of people that can work at 6:30 and then get up at 6:10 and go to work. I just can't.
No.
I have to get up and be up. And
I like
alert.
to call that the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Get up. It like get cleaned up, freshened up, drugged up enough to go do the day.
Yep.
It back when I was working with my uncle's steel construction company back summer of, I don't know, 01.
Mm-hmm.
We had hotel rooms, and the other guy I shared a hotel room with would just wake up, and it would be nothing but F-bombs. Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense nowadays.
Yep. That's funny. You when you're younger, you can work that much.
Meanwhile, that guy was not even a fall chicken.
Really?
Dude, that was a sun-dried tomato.
So my brother Greg, they had his wife. I'm just going to say wife. His wife's
Practically.
family has the house on Ocracoke Island. They rent out. So there's a bait and tackle shop, and like in a strip, like not in a strip mall, but in an area that has a couple other businesses. And so bait and tackle shop was open for sale. So he's like, well, I wonder how much it would cost. And so the guy selling it was like, well, I'm selling the whole property. I was like, shit, how much? $3 million. Fuck. So Greg was like, trying to figure out how I can raise $3 million. It's like, go on GoFundMe and then tell everybody you have a really rare disorder. I was like, my wife already has a rare disorder. Like, that's neither here nor there.
Fine, then. Well, she still needs money, so it doesn't need to make sense. They don't need to know any better. That to become strip mall empire man. Meanwhile, the Holden Beach Pier is for sale.
Ooh.
But upon acquiring it, you need to destroy it and rebuild it because at the least it's Splinter City. At the most, somebody's going to fall through soon.
Oh.
Yeah.
It can no longer bring its A game. It has to bring its C or D game.
It's been on D game for a while.
Yikes.
We had to renew our vows on one of the planks along the pier. So to say.
Renew them after. Oh.
It's been a couple of years. The engagement ones.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Nice off-air bit for you.
Okay, gotcha.
Or the hell are those pictures? Anywho, it's been in rough shape for a while, and the building leading up to it used to house like an arcade and a gift shop. Now it's just like, here's a vending machine, and here's Jabba the Hutt that will sell you your $1 admission to the pier.
Yikes. I could go for a Pizza the Hut right now. A good Pizza Hut, not the one that we have in Mint Hill. What does Kay have a preference for?
She didn't know that this was going to be starting this late. It's like, well, we have pot pies and giant pigs and blankets if you want.
No.
So I figured over to make an empire and do a thing.
Empire works for me. Like, you know me, I can always eat Mexican, but I always tend to overeat Mexican, so Empire works for me. And I guess we should call it at this. We only made it to news and chatter.
Some car news.
Yes.
Music news, precious few.
Yeah, we did. So we had like a lot
stuff
of
didn't suck.
We just had a lot of catching up to do and a lot of news, and we still filled an hour and 40 minutes. See there, we're more than just one trick ponies. We're two trick ponies. Well, it's time to go to Empire.
Dan the man.
As quickly as possible because I do have to work tomorrow. Yep, first no show on Saturday in a while. Well, Steve, any parting shots for anybody before we go eat pizza, wings, and anything like that?
Should take better notes. No, It's
Notes.
notes.
Where we're going, we don't need notes. All right. He's Steve.
He's still AJ.
And bye. We'll see you in 102. And in the new... Well, hold on. What's the day?
Likely.
Oh, yeah, it'll be...
18th.
Well...
That would be easier.
After New Year?
Likely.
After the New Year. We'll see you in 102 in 2022.
102.22.
Okay, doke. Bye-bye.
That's Luigi.